There is a quiet moment right now, even if the world outside feels busy, even if your thoughts are already moving ahead of you. This moment arrives before effort, before expectation, before the day asks anything of you. A new morning does not announce itself loudly. It simply opens the door and waits for your awareness to step through. Your breath is already moving, steady and faithful, carrying oxygen to cells that have been working through the night without applause or recognition. Your heart has kept its rhythm in the dark, adapting to rest, repair, and subtle renewal. As consciousness rises, it is not a switch flipping on but a gentle unfolding, like light spreading across a landscape that was never truly asleep. The body knows this transition well. Muscles release microtensions, circulation shifts, hormones recalibrate, and the brain begins to synchronize intention with sensation. You are not starting from nothing. You are continuing from a place of deep intelligence that has been caring for you long before your first thought of the day forms. As awareness settles, there is space to notice how the body feels without judging it. Stiffness is not failure, it is information. Fatigue is not weakness, it is communication. The body speaks constantly in signals, inviting attention rather than criticism. Each system within you is designed not for perfection but for balance, adjusting in real time to sleep, stress, nourishment, emotion, and environment. Health is not a static state but a dynamic conversation, and this morning you are part of that conversation again. Cells renew themselves in cycles, tissues repair in layers, neural pathways strengthen with use and soften with rest. Even now, millions of microscopic processes are aligning toward equilibrium. You do not need to force them. You only need to allow space for them to work. When you breathe slowly, the nervous system receives a message of safety. When you stretch gently, fascia responds by releasing stored tension. When you acknowledge sensation without resistance, the mind learns cooperation instead of control. Thoughts may drift toward yesterday or race ahead to what lies ahead, but neither past nor future lives in the body the way the present does. Right now, posture, breath, temperature, and pulse are all happening here. The mind often believes it must solve everything immediately, yet the brain itself functions best when allowed moments of quiet integration. During rest and reflection, neural networks consolidate memory, regulate emotion, and refine perception. Stillness is not inactivity, it is processing. In this space, intention can emerge without pressure. Balance is not achieved by pushing harder but by listening more closely. The body is not asking for perfection today. It is asking for cooperation, patience, and trust. Energy is not something you must chase. It is something that circulates when resistance softens. Even the smallest pause creates room for clarity to appear naturally. As the morning continues to open, awareness expands beyond the body to the subtle relationship between mind and environment. Light entering the eyes signals wakefulness, guiding circadian rhythms that influence mood, focus, and metabolism. Sound anchors you to place, whether it is silence, distant movement, or familiar morning noise. Temperature, texture, and gravity all participate in orienting you to the day. You are not separate from these forces. You are responding to them constantly, adjusting posture, breath, and attention in quiet collaboration. The brain is a prediction machine, always anticipating what comes next, yet it recalibrates best when it receives calm, consistent input. When you meet the morning with steadiness, You help align perception with reality rather than fear or urgency. Emotional states, like physical ones, are not fixed identities but temporary patterns. They arise from chemistry, memory, expectation, and interpretation, shifting as conditions change. You do not need to eliminate emotion to be balanced. You only need to allow it to move. Just as muscles require both contraction and release, the inner world requires acknowledgement and space. Resilience does not mean never bending. It means returning to form after pressure. The human nervous system evolved not for constant threat but for adaptability. When safety is sensed, creativity, empathy, and insight naturally increase. This morning, you are not required to carry everything at once. Focus narrows and widens as needed, like a lens adjusting for clarity rather than strain. As attention deepens, gratitude can arise not as a forced practice but as recognition. The body has endured every day before this one. It has adapted to stress, healed from injury, learned from experience, and carried you through countless transitions. Even imperfections are evidence of survival, of systems working under real conditions rather than ideal ones. The mind, too, has learned patterns to protect you, even when those patterns no longer serve. Awareness allows gentle updating rather than self-blame. Renewal is not erasing the past but integrating it. Energy returns when effort aligns with purpose, when movement follows rhythm rather than pressure. The morning does not demand urgency, it offers possibility. Possibility becomes accessible when the body feels supported and the mind feels unthreatened. There is a quiet intelligence in pacing. Biological systems thrive on cycles: wake and rest, effort and recovery, stimulation and calm. When you honor these rhythms, efficiency increases without force. Focus sharpens not through tension but through alignment. The brain conserves energy when it feels safe, freeing resources for problem-solving and creativity. You are allowed to approach the day incrementally. One breath informs the next. One step stabilizes the next. Momentum does not require rushing. It requires direction. Direction emerges when attention is present rather than scattered. This moment is enough to set the tone, not through control, but through clarity. As the day approaches, there is room to hold intention lightly. Intention is not a demand, it is an orientation. You can move towards steadiness, curiosity, or kindness without insisting on outcomes. The body responds well to realistic expectations. Muscles strengthen through gradual load, not sudden strain. The mind learns through repetition, not punishment. Growth happens quietly, often unnoticed, until one day it becomes visible. This morning is part of that accumulation. Small choices ripple outward through systems you may never consciously track, influencing energy, mood, and resilience over time. There is no need to measure everything. Trust in the process is itself a form of balance. As awareness continues to settle, a sense of readiness can begin to form, not as tension, but as availability. You are available to notice, to respond, to adjust. You are available to care for your body with respect, to guide your mind with patience, to engage the world without losing yourself in it. The day does not require you to be more than human. It asks only that you show up as you are, informed by rest, guided by awareness, and supported by systems designed for renewal. There is strength in simplicity. There is clarity in presence. There is energy in alignment. Now, as this reflection gently moves toward completion, allow the calm you've settled into to travel with you. Carry it into movement, into conversation, into moments of effort and pause alike. Let this awareness shape how you treat your body, how you speak to yourself, how you respond rather than react. If this moment brought you a sense of steadiness or insight, consider sharing that with others. You can support this space of reflection by liking, subscribing, or sharing, helping create a wider rhythm of calm focus and intentional living. When you engage, you're not just supporting content, you're contributing to a collective environment where mindfulness, resilience, and growth are valued. Step forward into your day with clarity, balance, and quiet confidence, knowing that each mindful beginning strengthens the path ahead.